Comparing yourself is so easy, especially since our whole society is built on it. The ways how we do it might be different, however, the reason stays the same, and that is the famous and overly talked about lack of confidence. Have you ever noticed that you tend to compare yourself when you are already feeling down, anxious, or insecure? That is because comparison doesn't come from a happy place. I like to look at it as a small parasite that feeds off of negativity. It can't survive in a healthy mind space. Somehow, bad habits come more easily than the good ones. Have you ever thought about that? To complain about the bad stuff and look at Instagram for 3 hours takes no effort. Zero. But to take care of your body and mental state, it is work. It's like a full-time job. And although a very rewarding one, it is the type of job and the only job you will need to do for the rest of your life. Comparing myself to others is a habit that I'm currently learning to break. About 1 week ago, I was experiencing some negative thoughts, and because I already know myself, I know the pattern. Usually when I'm overworked, when I feel stressed and anxious, I begin to think more negatively, obviously. And with the negativity often comes the comparing, right? Because you're overworked, you're stressed, you don't feel like you're doing enough. And when you don't feel like you're doing enough, you start looking outside and you feel like other people are doing enough. And there goes the comparison wheel. Luckily though, I realized that it's a sign that I need to take a break. And so I took a personal day. I went to an art museum, I went for a lunch, and I went to the beach. I took my journal with me and I just put my thoughts in there. I wrote down different thoughts about comparing yourself to other people and other lifestyles, and I want to share some of those thoughts with you today. I think most people don't even realize how much comparison can sometimes control us. Especially now with social media, it's so easy to see portrayals of a perfect look, a perfect life, everything in quotes, because it's so easy to do montages and Photoshop and everything, and we kind of begin to have an image of how something should look like. That's only one aspect. Then there's the other aspect where we as people, if we feel less confident in one area, we tend to look and seek out people or things that kind of fit that area, and then we compare these two. I hope that makes sense. So there are 3 things that you need to understand about comparing. Firstly, when you compare yourself to others, you immediately disregard your own uniqueness. Immediately, on the spot. So whatever gifts you have, whatever talents you have, your strengths, your own uniqueness, done. That's disregarded. Your whole mindset is now shifted towards that lifestyle, that image, that person, whatever. And from that, you have a higher chance of losing yourself and who you are or who you want to be. Secondly, comparing yourself to others will only bring you unhappiness. This I also had to kind of put into my mind. Sometimes we see something, we compare ourselves, we think, oh, when I'll have this thing, then I will feel happy. But the thing is, and that is, that's just my personal belief. Any kind of change that comes from comparing or not feeling enough, most of the time will result in jumping to the next thing where you want to compare yourself. And that is because your self-value is measured by outside factors. You basically train your mind to never be satisfied. It is a habit. That's the reason why I said that this is a habit that I'm learning how to break. Finally, the third thing that I want you to understand about comparison is comparison and inspiration are 2 completely different things. And the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because sometimes they can be very mixed together. But the main difference between both of them is how you feel. Do you look at something and you feel inspired and you feel motivated and you might even feel better about yourself? Or do you look at something and it makes you feel worse? It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you're not enough. That's comparison. I choose my source of motivation to be inspiration. I look at people that make me feel good. Really filter the information that you take in. For example, unfollow any Instagram accounts that make you feel bad or that just don't give you anything, you know? That is your feed. You have the freedom to choose at what you look at and what you bring into your life. And the same, by the way, goes to any other media. You know, I have unfollowed many Facebook pages, like news outlets that I just feel like publishes crap. You know, that's the beauty of kind of democracy. You get to choose what you want to see and what you want to listen to. And I think that is very powerful, and you need to learn how to use that tool. To stop comparing yourself to others, you firstly need to learn how to accept yourself. There's a big misconception that if you accept who you are, you love yourself the way you are, that you won't ever want to change or grow or evolve or get better, that you'll just be, you know, lazy, lying around and be like, I love myself, I'm okay. That's not the case. The things that you truly want in your life, and I'm talking about things that you want, not the things that you think you should want because others want them, you will still want them when you accept yourself. That won't change. The things that will drop are the things that you realize you only wanted because you thought that you need to have them, because you were comparing yourself. I have definitely found that to be true. I know that a lot of things I have wanted in the past only because I thought that that's what you're supposed to have, and that's what you're supposed to look like, and that's what you're supposed to be like. But the things that I have wanted since I was little, they have stayed with me because that's who I am inside. Listen to yourself, be yourself, and accept who you are for you. Now, the second one is learn to respect yourself. Your body, and by body, I don't mean just your like physical look, but your brain, your whole system, your whole meat suit is functioning 24/7 so you could live the life that you are living now. Your body is giving you life and giving you the option to move around, to think, to create all the time. The most basic thing that you could give it back is respect. When I think about all the nasty things that I've said to myself in the past, it just makes you feel very ashamed. And I think that helps when you pinpoint all the things that your body does for you. And the third way that I have found helps me stop comparing myself to others is doing the things that I love. The more we do and focus on things that make us happy, not only does it leave less time to focus on others and what they're doing, but it also just makes us feel more fulfilled. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, comparison feeds off of negativity. And when you're in a healthy, happy mind space, you're less likely to feel like you want to look at others and start comparing yourself. Lastly, I want to leave you with a 5 to 10 minute exercise that I created that kind of helps me stop in the moment when I start to compare myself to someone and completely shift my mind. So the first step is to practice awareness. I think very often we don't even notice that we do these things. So you need to learn how to catch yourself in those moments when you are comparing yourself and ask these two questions. First, what are my triggers? And second, how can I avoid this? So for example, as I mentioned, my triggers for comparing myself to someone else is when I haven't had some quality time with myself and when I haven't been doing what I love for a long time. Because I know my triggers, I know how to avoid them. So for example, I schedule some personal time with myself, just me, and I plan activities that I love that I can do on a weekly basis. The second step is to name or write down 3 things that you are grateful for. I know I talk about gratitude a lot, but only because it truly does make you feel more happy, and that is the basis of all well-being. So name 3 things that you are grateful for. It can be anything in your life, something about yourself, whatever. The third step is to name 5 of your strengths. So again, it can be anything, but something that you're very proud of, that you can do, a good quality or a good skill, anything at all. And fourth, ask yourself, what things or actions make me happy and how can I incorporate more of those activities in my life? When you've done this exercise, you will see that your whole mindset now is shifted on the things that you are good at, the things that you love, and the things that you are grateful for, versus before when your whole mindset was on something else and something you don't have and something that could be better. This is very, very powerful. It's a short exercise, but as I said, it kind of restarts your mindset. And from that mindset, I think this is the greatest part, from that mindset, you have the strength to then improve anything that you want to improve or be better at, but it's coming from you. It's not coming from looking at someone else. Lastly, I just want to leave you with this. If you feel like you are constantly comparing yourself to others, just know that literally every single person on this planet has gone through this or is going through it. We all compare ourselves to others all the time, but you have the power to stop doing it, and you have the power to live a very fulfilling life where you focus on your strengths and your abilities and not someone else's. You are unique. You have your own gifts, your own talents that no one else has. You are great at what you do, and you need to follow your passion and what you love, and happiness will follow. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, leave a like or a comment or subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram. The link is down below. Thanks again for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.